Hey, good morning. I hope you're well today. This is Pastor Drew from Avuno Church Downhome. I hope you're observing all the recommended hygiene practices. I hope you're taking all the precautions to prevent an infection of COVID-19. So I'm going to share a thought or two as I have been doing from my 1 year Bible reading. Yesterday we saw 1 Samuel chapter 4 through to 8, and we saw how Samuel failed to disciple his children in the same way Eli didn't. And we also saw how Israel asked for their own king. And Samuel goes on behalf of God, of course, to warn them of the dire consequences of having men rule over them as opposed to God. Now, we continue the story today, and God now anoints Saul as king over Israel, the very first king. And it's actually recorded how Saul was the fiercest man in all Israel. And he was the tallest. He was a head tall above everyone else. So Saul was the very first case of tall, dark, and handsome. And so the story goes on, and he goes on to win the battle, the very first battle as king over them. And this was the dream that they wanted for, as having a king who would lead them to battle. You know, a man, a leader they would see, rather than God. And so it's going on well. However, Samuel still warns them of the consequences of forgetting God now that they had their own king, now that they had one who was ruling over them and winning victory on their behalf. And he just warns them of forgetting God and forgetting his commands and not obeying God. And it's the same for us today. We have presidents, we have prime ministers, we have premiers, we have kings who rule over us this day, winning battles and governing us. But God still desires us to remember him and to forge a relationship with him. Thankfully, he has now made a way through Jesus Christ for us to do that. And he is winning us back to him, one man at a time. And so we can see the consequences that Samuel was warning Israel of having a king. I mean, we see the world as it is today. There's just so much trouble as a result of us looking to man. There's very little hope as a result of us looking to the government of men. However, God is just giving us hope and telling us to return back to himself through Jesus Christ, who has made a way for us to forge that relationship with God. And therein is our hope. I mean, we have hope not only for this life, but for the life after this. That even though the rulers that we appoint into office may fail us, and we will see that with Saul, even though we have rulers who are limited, who have limitations, who have faults, we serve a God. We remember a God who doesn't, who has no faults, and who has given us a hope in his life, in this life and in the next. So God bless you as you consider this thought, and remember to serve the Lord your God.